Hello student, start today's session of the software cost estimation. In today's session we see the three different main points, that is planning process of software cost estimation. In planning process, estimate two main tasks. First task is estimate software cost and feasibility, and second is estimate the software resources. Start the first point, planning process of software cost estimation. What is mean planning process? Planning process include different steps to estimate the cost of the software. First is size of the estimate the size of the software. Next is estimate the resources needed for the software development process. Next is produce a schedule of the software development. Next is identify the and assess the software risk. And next is negotiative commitment of the different software. Means in planning process we must be estimate the scope of the software, quality of the software, schedule of the software, budget of the software, and different resources and risk of the software. On the basis of this, with the help of these points, we can identify the software cost. First main task of the software planning is estimation of software scope and the feasibility. Means if software scope is high, then the cost of the software is also high. On the basis of software scope, the cost of the software is depend. Then what is mean software scope? Software scope means the actual operation that is going to carried out by the software and its plus point and also the limitation. Software project scope must be unambiguous and understandable at the management and technical level. Software scope will be affect the cost of the software. Obviously, the larger the scope, then it is the more expensive the development will be done. Next is example. What is mean? The software scope will be depend on the software cost, and software cost will be also depend on the software scope. Example, basic mobile app will with a limited set of features can run be in limited cost, while more complex app that have the both web and mobile functionality that are or that are customer facing services app can run with the more expensive cost. That means cost of the software is totally depend on the software scope. Next is what is software feasibility. Feasibility feasibility study give the conclusion of whether to go ahead with the proposed project as it is practically feasible, or to stop proposed project. Here it is not feasible to develop or to think or analyze about proposed system again. Means in feasibility study we can study the proposed project is practically feasible or not, or it is stop or it is continue to develop the whole project. In feasibility we study the our way of the development will be go on the right way or not. Software feasibility means not to solve the problem but to determine the whether problem is worth solving. Means in software feasibility not actually solve problem but where we need to the solve the problem. Feasibility study is important because it make analysis of different aspect like cost required for developing and the executing the system, and the time required for each phase of the system. Different types of feasibility studies, that is operational feasibility, technical feasibility, and third is economic feasibility. What is mean operational feasibility? In operational feasibility we understand or analyze the what is operational scope of the software, and operation scope of the software it must be high. In technical feasibility We study the how what is level of the technology available in the software, that is programming language, hardware resources, and other software tools. In economic feasibility, we identify the cost of the software. Next is income or benefit gets from the that developed system. In next is what is software resources. The second task of software planning is estimation of resources required. Each resources is specified with the following characteristics. First, resources description. Next, detail of availability of the resources. Next is when resources is required, and last is how long resources is required. The next is different types of resources. What is human resources? Second is hardware resources, and next is software resources. These are three different types of resources in that is used in the software development process. What is means human resources? Human resources are the human manpower that is required for the software development process. Next is hardware resources, means what is different softwares that is used for developing in the software system. And next is software resources. Hardware resources means how hardware resources are used for the software development. And software resources means what different types of software that is used in the software development process. Next is important questions from above session. First, define planning process for the cost estimation of the software. Next is how software cost is affected by the software scope and feasibility. Next is how software resources is important in software cost estimation. These questions are important as a exam oriented questions. Thank you. Continue in the next session.